It's the Retro Philosophy Show. Go on and tell everybody you know. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lottie Dottie, and I'm in the building hanging out with Retro. Keep it locked, and don't you dare touch that dial.
Good evening, good morning, good night, good day. It's your boy Retro. Thank you for pressing play.
Yo, what up? This is Marvin Gibson, aka Big Gip, and you are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big down. You still keeping it 100.
Hey now, this is Mileage Bully, the Motor Mob CEO, home of the Motor Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your man Pablo Fresco on the Retro Philosophy Podcast, talking about our newly published book, Courage Unveiled, Navigating the Battlefield Within.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Retro Philosophy Show, where I always listen to my man, 50 Grand, Pastor Retro. You know what it is.
GCO, founder of Rasta Apparels. We were Retro Philosophy. Make sure y'all go follow, like, share, subscribe to my brother, man. We all black-owned businesses. You know how we come support.
It's your boy Retro. I'm actually privileged to be down here at Rear Creek Clubhouse in Fayetteville with my man Big Frizz and his beautiful wife. And so on behalf of Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, we wanted to present both of them with their pack for the NC Four Corners Ride. They knocked that joint out officially. And so we appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you, okay? The backseat miles matter. They matter. So you want to hit up the four corners of North Carolina or whatever state it is, make sure you get at your boy Retro. We'll get you in touch with the right registration for the state that you want to do. And the rest will be history, man. So Big Frizz, man. Appreciate you, boss. I appreciate you. Sure. Another one next week. That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right.
Trying to get them all. All of them. All of them. This is 48.
All right.
Let me see that. Let me see that.
Boom.
Let me see that back. You see it?
Boom.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, you already know what it is. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Look at here, man. We want you to make sure you hit that subscribe button, like and share, and also, communicate in the comment section. Let the brother know what's good, what's going on, and how you feel it, and where you might be watching from. Just like my brother Maso Young this morning. He says, good morning. My brothers and sisters, miss you guys. Had to get new phone. Keep pressing forward. We miss you too, brother. Glad to see you back up and popping. But the reality is, man, I took a break, man. I had a whole lot going on. So the past couple of days, we hadn't even been live. But again, we want to thank everybody for pressing play. God is good all the time, and all the time He is good. And I hope and pray that you guys had yourselves a great Easter weekend. It was really awesome for me. It was awesome indeed. And what we did was my son was married on past Thursday, and y'all looking at me funny. What's wrong? Why y'all looking at me like that? I'm saying. And but we had a great weekend, a great week, very long and tiring week, man. Indeed, it was, man. But so we took some time to just rest on yesterday after Easter. We did 2 services yesterday. We were we were asked to speak at one of the. Let's see if I can turn these notifications off here. Anyway, we were asked to speak at another church for sunrise service on Sunday morning. Then we turned around and did the 11 o'clock service at our church. And so we had a great day all day, and got home and just took some well-needed rest. I watched my phone go down in terms of battery. And once it died, I said, let it just sit there until the morning. So I was out of reach on yesterday evening. We sat here and watched some television, me and the family, and just had ourselves a good old time, And y'all like the new look? Y'all let me know, if it's a go, if it's a no, or how you feel about the new look. Oh boy. Let me stop fooling around with y'all, man. Everything is good in the hood, man. We still got a little hair up there and everything. Edwin, what's going on, brother? How are you doing? My man Edwin is getting ready to take off here. When's your takeoff day, Edwin? When is your takeoff day? We got some brothers and sisters that are out doing the 4 corners. He said it's a go. It's a go. Look at here, man. I cut my hair off many years ago like that, and my wife, she looked at me. She said, "Babe, please don't do that again." And in my little lifetime, I've had dreadlocks, I've had high top fade, I've had high and tight, I've had afros, I had one style I did not have. I never had corn braids. I never had corn braids. Okay, cool. I didn't miss anything. Congratulations on your son. Tell him treat her like a queen, and she treat him like a king. Life will be great. Keep pressing forward. That part right there, brother. That part right there, man. I've told him 1,000 times if I told him once, And okay, 426. So Edwin is going to be taking off to do the Virginia. It's Virginia doing, right, Edwin? Virginia 4 corners. Or is it North Carolina? I'm getting a little bit confused. No, I think Edwin is doing the VA. I don't know. Let me know, Tank, which one you're doing, brother. C1 says I got a head for it, that's just all, technology. My head is not shaped that way. I do not have a head for it, guys. True story. I do not. Let me see here. Bada boom, bada bang. Okay, NC. Okay. Yeah, that's right. NC. So Edwin, Tank, listen to me, bro. I do believe that you'll enjoy the NC 4 corners. Today we're talking about, am I even doing this thing right? And we'll get into that here in a little bit. So just stick with me. But the NC 4 corners is a really cool ride. You're going to get the beach and the mountains all in one ride. I would suggest, please, at least take 2 days, if not 3, to enjoy it. When me and the Cam fam did it, we took 2 days. And we maxed out those 2 days. By the time we got to Murphy, North Carolina, which was the last corner for us, it was approaching midnight, if not already midnight. I know it was certainly late by the time we got there. Get this out of my shot. By the time we got there, and it was not the plan. Initially, we were going to hit Murphy, then Sparta. But because of the threat of rain, we decided to switch it around and hit Wilmington first. The whole thought process was, if we're going to get rained on, let's get rained on the beach or toward the beach versus in the mountains and all those curves. And I'm glad we switched it and did it that way. But we spent a little bit more time on the beach, as well as we stopped in Rocky Mount, hung out with the street soldiers. And I don't regret spending the time, but it threw everything off. So by the time we did get to Murphy, we were already, it had already got night on us. And so worldwide riders will be leaving on 4/26 and returning home on the 29th. So that's perfect. That's spacing it out almost perfectly, Tank. So congratulations to you guys. Let's make some noise for worldwide riders out of the Fayetteville area. I want to say it's about 8 of them that's going to be doing it. And that's cool, man. I think you guys will enjoy it. I know we certainly did. Shout out to Kodak, the ground pounder. I want to say he came in second and knocked out the NC Four Corners. Or was it? No, I stand corrected. I believe it was the Street Soldiers that came in second and knocked out the NC Four Corners, followed up by Kodak. Big Frizz, him and his wife, they knocked it out, made it look like light work. And so it's really cool to see everyone getting out. And yes, sir, we still on for tonight, brother. 8 o'clock tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have Tank and some of the other riders that are going to be doing it. They'll be on talking about how they're going to do it, what they expect from it. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's make some noise for Rodney Livingston, a.k.a. Change, in the building. What's going on, brother? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's hanging out with the Retro Philosophy Show on this morning. And we'll be having him on the show soon too. So rest assured. Just grateful for the hand of God in his life and what the Lord is doing for him during this time. We're all still processing and just working through it. But love you, brother, and glad to see you tuning in on this morning. But yes, Tank, we are still on for tonight, 8 o'clock. So for those of you who are interested in finding out a little bit more about the NC Four Corners so tune in tonight. We got a great topic we'll be talking about on tonight. And later on this month, Meso Young is going to be doing the Ohio Four Corners. And guess what? I'm going to ride up there and do it with them, guys. So you heard it first right here on the Retro Philosophy Show. Yeah. So I told the wife, come April, I was going to take some time. So much has been happening and going on. So I said I was going to take some time on during the month of April to kind of unwind and relax. Now here's what I'm not going to do. Happy Easter to you as well, Natalie, and thank you for tuning in to the Retro Philosophy Show on this morning. Appreciate you for joining the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some dignitaries on the broadcast on this morning, so let's make some proper noise and a lot of noise. But Kinky Holly Black in the building. Let's make some noise. What's going on, young lady? Hope all is well with you and yours. Never know where Kinky's at because she's got a motorcycle and a throttle that works. And so she twists that thing. And I mean to tell you, she's all over the place, man. So shout out to her. This young lady has ridden to places that some people wouldn't even imagine. And she's a ground pounder for show. So again, we want to say good morning to Kinky Harley Black. And thank you for joining the Retro Philosophy broadcast on this here morning. So let's see. So we'll be doing the Ohio Four Corners. And just so that you guys know, the Mission 448, this is what it's all about, okay? This is an initiative that I have taken. After doing the NC Four Corners, I was inspired to continue with the other states instead of stopping with just North Carolina. Hey, why not get Georgia, South Carolina, Florida? And I said, let's just go for the whole 48, the lower 48 states. And so that's what I'm after, man. So if you would like to be a part of this movement, by all means, we've got a Facebook page, and that's it right there, Mission 448. So look us up on Facebook and join. You just have to answer 2 questions and you're in there. Now, we've got people like Big Frizz, who is just a ground pounding machine. We got people like your boy Highway Dre, who's just, insane in the membrane when it comes to riding that motorcycle. I mean, he's just all over the place, man. You're going to see him everywhere this year. His calendar is like bananas, okay? Highway Dre, shout out to Highway Dre. He knocked out both Georgia and South Carolina back to back, like literally back to back, And I was like, well, dang, dude. I mean, wow. He did Florida. I think he's getting ready to knock out Alabama this month. So Alabama is moving too. We got a few folks out of Alabama that has done it. I will say this again. Thank you to I cannot forget the one and only, our good sis Piper. She's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. She hit me up the other day. Matter of fact, we were talking on Motorcycle Mondays. Make sure you check her out. I want to say 6 o'clock tonight, or is it 7 o'clock, Piper? But she does Motorcycle Mondays every Monday. You know, who knows the way the conversation is going to go. And that's what's cool about her show. But anyway, maybe last Monday or Monday before last, I kind of popped on and we chatted for a little bit. And so she was like, well, let me know when Pennsylvania goes live. And so she hit me up the other day. She's like, yo, Retro, what's up with Pennsylvania? Is it ready yet? Because I'm getting ready to go out and do the she was doing an Easter run for the IBA. And she says, why not knock it out at the same time? So I said, say less, give me a few moments. So we hopped on the computer thingamajiggy and went on and did what we had to do and sent it over to her. And she knocked it out. I mean, Piper is like, I don't know where she come from, man. She just get on that bike and ride. You know, it's like, you know, yeah. So she knocked it out, man. We were following her ride, man. And so shout out to Piper. She did the doggone thing, man. So those of you in the Pennsylvania area, get at your boy, man. Registration is open. You can go ahead and do it, you know. I think it's very interesting. I think it's cool and it's humbling at the same time. Because we ain't nobody, you know what I mean? We just a little nobody. As the Williams brother had the song, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. That's my testimony, man. I ain't nobody, man. I ain't nobody special. Piper is a wild child. Piper is a wild child. She's out there doing the thing though, man. And so shout out to her. You know, some people, you know, they catch a groove and they just keep on grooving, you know, and so that's what I love about this motorcycling thing and life in general, you know, life in general. Sometimes we never think of doing something until someone else brings light to it. And that's okay. You know, it's called inspiration and it's okay to inspire others. And in the words of the one and only living legend, K Solo, aspire to inspire. And, you know, we are inspired by many different people for many different reasons. And it's that inspiration that sometimes gets us to a point where we find our purpose. You know, there's a quote, sometimes we find ourselves in the middle of nowhere, and in the middle of nowhere we find ourselves. And so it's just really interesting, man. Get out there, rub shoulders, shake hands, hug necks. You'll be surprised what inspiration you can get and will cause you to find your groove, and then you can just work with it. Okay. Case in point, let me see, bada boom, bada bang. Let me see if I can do this real quick on the fly. Let's see here. Where we at? I'll go here. I'll go here. I'll move this here. And let's see here. I thought I had uploaded this video. I want to share a video clip with you. Let me see. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me see here. But I'm talking about, you know, the about inspiring, okay? And it is so cool when we do something in such a way that we inspire others. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You know, we are our brother's keeper. And sometimes the biggest blessing we can be to our brothers and sisters is to inspire them. I was having a conversation with K Solo about K Solo. Because again, his catchphrase is aspire to inspire, right? And so many a times we'll see K Solo and other people, you know, whether it be Reeve, Big Sal, and whoever else, you know, out there on them twos getting yonder. And so I saw K Solo, and you know, he'll take these roads that are not even roads, and next thing you know, he's got a grill popped, not even a grill, some stones and some sticks, and he's searing some salmon and some you know, some lobster and everything, and a gourmet meal on the side of in the middle of nowhere, you know. And so I turned down a road one day, and next thing you know, I found myself, the road ended, and I find myself on a dirt road and surrounded by cornfields in the middle of nowhere. So I just kind of chuckled a little bit, snapped a picture, and said, you know, K Solo inspired, but please understand results may vary. You know, it's just yeah. And but you know, to inspire someone, it is a powerful thing. And if you're not inspiring someone, then my question is, are you doing it right? Are you doing it right? Natalie, okay, you might be a nobody, but you are God's somebody. So embrace your presence. And that part right there, I do. I embrace it. I really do. But I'm humbled. Let's just put it that way. I am humbled. The Bible tells us that pride goes before a fall. And so it also turns around in another scripture and it says, if you think you stand, take heed lest you fall. And so it is important to embrace our presence, to understand our call, but it is as important, if not more important, to remain humble, because as quick as God gives us a thing, it could be taken away. Now, it is not so much that God takes things away from us, but sometimes we get out of place, we get the big head, we get, conceited, whatever the case may be. And as a result, we can lose everything. And so thank you for those kind words. And I thank God for all of you guys who are rooting for your boy and supporting us, whatever shape, form, or fashion that you're doing so. Some people don't have to be in the limelight to support you. Some people may not even never let you know that they're supporting you, but they're praying for you. Watch this. Some people are because see, we're not even gonna go there. I'm thankful for all those that support. Y'all are inspiring a brother after Ohio, then Indiana, then Pennsylvania. Keep pressing. That part right there, Meso. You know what I mean? And so for us, right, Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, this is why we came up with the NC Four Corners. I'm just offering you guys a little backdrop and a little understanding of what we got going on here and why. We can often forget where our blessings come from. That part right there, we certainly can. And that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing. But I was getting ready to say, we came up with this NC Four Corners. And again, there's other people who circle your state and things like that. So I'm not acting like we pulled this out of thin air and just, no, we just adopted our form of it and we're just working it, It's just like McDonald's has the Big Mac, right? And Burger King has the Whopper. They're both burgers. It's just that one has a certain sauce and a certain way they prepare it. And therefore you have people who, crave the Whopper versus the Big Mac. Okay. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of times what you'll see Burger King on one corner, McDonald's on another corner, sometimes side by side. And guess what? They both make and bang, and so there's really not competition as one would think, but sometimes it presents opportunity. Okay. Not everybody likes the Whopper. So therefore, it presents an opportunity for the Big Mac to get a chance to shine, And so we came up with with our version of what we call the CAM Four Corners. It was specifically for Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry. We are a Christian group of riders and we enjoy riding motorcycles and we enjoy fellowship. And so this was a great accomplishment for the team, and I never forget, we hadn't even got to Murphy yet. And we were at a gas stop and we were pretty much running out of gas, not actual gas, but emotionally. We were, the team was it was late. It was getting cold. It was cold and it was getting later. And so the team was running out of gas, so we kind of had a little pep talk and everything. And so we decided we would press our way up to the last corner. I think at that point we probably had about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours left in us to get there. And so it was during that gas stop that it was revealed that this is the longest to date that I've ridden, one of the team members, and I was like, wow, so what we set out to do was inspire, the team to ride. And so we accomplished that, and by the time we got to Murphy, it was a feeling of accomplishment for us all, so that's what the Four Corners was birthed around. And of course, I was, motivated on this trip. And so we have continued on to now. I gotta give a shout out to the Tennessee crew, Sparkle and her crew. Sparkle reached out to me sometime the end of last year, showed some interest in coming down to do it. And sure enough, I want to say Sparkle came down with about maybe 5 other people. With 5 other people, and from Tennessee, enrolled the NC Four Corners, and they did it Yeah, they did it. They did it. I called them the studs and stilettos, not studs in stilettos, but studs and and stilettos. So let's take a quick commercial break and hear from Sparkle and her crew, and as they as they completed the NC Four Corners. Stay with us and don't you dare touch that dial.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have here with us the studs and stilettos, not studs and stilettos, but studs and stilettos.
That's a different show. That's a different show. That could be wild.
That could be wild, you know. But they came all the way down from Tennessee and to do the NC Four Corners. It's been a pleasure, even preparing for the ride, talking with them, and an even greater pleasure to have the privilege to ride with them. For this portion of the trip, we caught them in Statesville and rode them up to the last corner, which is here in Sparta, as you can see in the background, Sparta Town Hall. Yes, indeed. We made it. We made it. So, any highlights? Anything that anybody wanted to talk about as far as the highlights for the trip for everybody?
The beach.
The lunch at Oceanic.
Oh, yeah, that was
Beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah.
When you guys said you were, when you guys said you was launching, I looked at the weather. I said, man, you guys couldn't have picked a better day.
Right?
Yeah.
Turned out perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Today's the best.
Yeah.
Today's the best day.
And so from here, will you guys hang on a little bit, or you headed straight back to Tennessee?
Back to Tennessee.
Okay, all right. That's a notch there. So we have the patches here. You guys can come get yours. Who's next? Let's know in the comment section. But video also. Bill.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
So come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for studs and stilettos. They came and they knocked that thing out, and they did it, man. It was a really cool ride. Bill, really, man, he was working his GoPro, man. So if you are not a part of Mission 448 on Facebook, go ahead and join it real quick. You'll be able to catch some of the footage that he caught. Some really cool pictures, man, as we were going up into the mountains, man. So hats off to them, May. So real talk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to gas up the GoPro because when we come up there to do Ohio, man, you know, I'm really looking forward to that being a beautiful ride. And so that's just a little bit of background, ladies and gentlemen, on the Four Corners that we are doing, sponsored by the Cam Fam Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry. And we're just, look, it's that time of the year. And you know, people are getting out and they're riding. Yesterday was like 75 degrees. Today is going to be in the low 80s. I think broadcast forecast said 81 degrees. I did not do any riding yesterday because I was extremely tired and quite frankly exhausted. And just, you know, again, you know, am I doing this thing right? You know, to be honest with you, there's no right or wrong way to what I'm doing as far as the Retro Philosophy Show and even the Four Corners. We will be tweaking things. Since we've started, we've already tweaked some things. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you just don't know until you get to a certain point. And then once you get there, you realize, okay, this needs to be adjusted, tweaked, or what have you. And, you know, when you know better, you do better. And so I want to share this with you really quickly. In life, as you matriculate through this thing called life, leave room not only for error, but for improvement. Never be so rigid to something. I mean, you look at the Constitution and there have been amendments to even the Constitution, you know. And so because as things evolve, as things grow, you realize things that you did not know, nor could you have known when you started. OK, because sometimes things have a way of taking on a life of their own. OK, and sometimes we find ourselves blaming ourselves for the way something, played out. But guess what? If you knew that would have happened, you would have done something differently. But you didn't know. So you did it the way that you did. So do not, in many cases, blame yourself. In other cases, condemn yourself or allow anyone else to do it for that matter. Some stuff we just have no control over. It's called learning lessons. And so, you know, if I knew then what I know now, yes, I would have done things differently, but I didn't know. So leave room for improvement, and don't be harder on you than you need to. Now, I do believe that we ought to hold ourselves accountable in this thing called life, because there are some people who never take responsibility for their actions, for their deeds, or for the part that they play. That's not what I'm talking about. If that's you, shame on you, you know. But what I'm talking about is don't allow you or anybody, to be extremely harsh on you. If Retro does something, I don't even like referring to myself in the third sense. If I do something that's foolish, that's dumb, that's stupid, that's cuckoo, hold me accountable, call me out on it, But once you call me out on it, give me room to correct. Okay? Don't beat me up every day. Now, if you see me back there the next day or the following day or whatever, then, but by all means, get on my case. But what I'm saying is we must get to a place in life where we allow people time and space to recorrect. Am I talking foolishly, or does it make any sense at all? So because sometimes people will find out where your fault is, and they will ring the alarm. They will tell everybody. They going on MySpace. They going on Periscope. They're going on AOL. They telling everybody. But they don't tell anybody about how you corrected the wrong that you did. It's just like in the newspaper on the front line, they'll say Maso Young found doing such and such. All along, it wasn't Maso Young. It was Marisol Old, a complete different person. I say Marisol because for some crazy reason I used to call him Marisol. I used to add extra letters in his name. But what's my point? My point is, on the front line, they'll say you did it. And then when they recant it, or when they put the correction out, it'll be some little small section in the middle of the newspaper. Yeah. It's crazy. But we do have to allow people space to correct, because if you're going to point out their wrong, first of all, let me tell you this. This is my motto. Don't tell me about my wrong if you're not going to help me do right. If all you come to do is tell me where I'm wrong and not offer me instruction or direction to do better, then you really ain't trying to help. I'm just saying, because there are people like that. Yeah. All they want to do is stir up stuff, always point out the fault, but never, ever, ever able to offer solutions to fix things. You're in a group, you're in an organization, you're having your meeting, and they won't go along with nothing. They got a problem with everything. And then you say, well, what do you suggest? Well, I don't know. Well, then sit down and Hirsch, because you part of the problem, bro. Okay. Let me get off my soapbox. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and aids, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, am I doing this thing right? I was thinking about it because I had got exhausted with so much going on. He without sin cast the first stone. Bada boom, bada bang. Yeah, you preaching real good right there, Natalie. Yes, indeed. Yeah, yes, indeed. And guess what? None of us are without sin. Yeah, none of us are perfect. Let me put it that way. And sometimes people will point out your faults and flaws so that the attention is not drawn to theirs. Could that be? Old song, you better think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, you better think about it, what you're trying to do to me. Is that how I go? Something like that. Come on, mate. So let's have some fun up in here. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. Good morning. Mr. No validation needed at all. You, brother, were on my mind this morning and are going to receive a phone call from me because I need to talk to you about a few things. I actually need your help this weekend. So stand by for that phone call, sir. Stand by for that phone call. Yes, sir. So, I had gotten exhausted and I'm still, quite frankly, recovering. I mean to tell you, just tired, man. You guys, you got to take a break sometimes, man. And so that's what I'm endeavoring to do this month. I'm trying to slow down and just take a break. Now, let me be transparent, too. Another thing that I did not want to do is I did not want to engulf myself with the motorcycle. I know you might not believe that, but it's true. Let me see something here. Why is that not coming through? Let me see. Let's see here. Bada boom, bada bang. That's there. I don't know. Oh, well, no, that wouldn't be it. That would be it though. Bada boom, bada bang. See if we can fix that real quick. Okay, there we go. All right, let me see here. Okay, so what was I saying, guys? So I didn't want to engulf myself with the motorcycle. Okay, my mind's telling me yes, but my body's telling me no. Hey, yeah. I looked at the weather yesterday as we were leaving church. It was absolutely beautiful, perfect for riding. Saw the brothers and sisters out riding. I saw groups, I saw singles. They was out there getting it in, and rightfully so. But I knew that I needed rest. I knew that I needed to relax. And so I said, as much as I want to, I'm not. Jessica Blue is in the building. Let's make some noise for Jessica on this here morning. Good morning, sis. Hope all is well with you and yours. Thank you guys for joining the Retro Philosophy Show for your morning inspiration on today. Meso, you're correct. Got to take care of yourself. If not, who will? You know, we can't run ourselves down and then we'll be good for nobody. You know, and then you really got a problem. Houston, we have ourselves a problem. And so I refuse to get on that bike. Now, I did get on it. When was it? Saturday? Yes, Saturday. I got on it for a little bit. And which brings me back to the clip I was trying to find a while ago. Let me see if I can find it real quick. No, I can't. And I'm not going to get distracted in trying to find it. However, let me do this real quick. Let's see here. Bada boom, bada bang. And I did get on it Saturday for a little bit, and I didn't go anywhere really. You know, nowhere far. Okay, babe. And I really want to find this clip now. It's really messing with me, but I'm gonna get distracted if I keep looking for it. So I did get on it for a little bit and enroll my nephew. He had come up and wanted to ride because he's a new license holder, motorcycle endorsement holder. Okay, and he hasn't ridden outside of the weekend course that he took, and so we got him over to a good sized parking lot. And let him do some laps, and he did really well. He did way better than I'm not gonna say better than I expected, but he was enjoying it way more than I was comfortable with, and he was ready to let loose on that thing. I had to slow him down, man. So we got on it long enough to do that, and I ran a few errands. But let me get back to my point. You know, I refuse to be the person who gets to a place where the motorcycle is the answer to everything. Now this is just me. What you do is what you do, but this is me speaking, okay? And part of the reason the Retro Philosophy Show was created was for a level of transparency coupled with authenticity, okay? We'll talk about that later. And so I'm gonna be a little transparent, okay? I refuse to make the motorcycle the answer for everything. You know, some days you ground pounders need to just leave it alone. We can't make the motorcycle our medication for everything, because you will ride the motorcycle and everything is well. But when you get home and get off of it, then what? Now you're just longing to get back on it, to get away from some of the things that you might need to address, speak on, deal with, and just confront, you know? And so there are some people that use drugs, and then there are some people that use motorcycles in the form of drugs. Yeah. It's you know, I don't want to deal with this, you know, wifey's getting on my nerve, so I'm gonna just hop on the motorcycle, I'm gonna just take off and ride. And now you're riding, you feel better because you got, you know, that excitement. But But now you still got to go back home and still deal with wifey, sooner or later, and some things we can't continue to put off. We just got to just deal with it. Might not have the answer, but at least deal with it. And so here I am going through some things and working through some things. And I say, you know what, man? Don't look to that thing. Just let Ruby sit right there where she is. So Ruby has really sat for a while here lately, not saying I would get on it to go to where I need to go or whatever, but at that point I was using it for a mode of transportation and not a dose of medicine. Yeah, not a dose of medicine. And you say, well, Retro, I don't have that problem. I don't even ride a motorcycle. Well, what are you using as a dose of medicine to numb you from the reality that you got to deal with, or to numb you from the reality that you are actually in? Let's talk about church, okay, for a little minute, because I know a little bit about church. I've been in it for a few years, right? You're right. God gives us the ability to enjoy all things we've learned to do well-rounded. We got to be well-rounded. Some people are addicted to church. They spiritualize everything. Some stuff is not that someone has a demon. They just need to be loved. Some stuff you can't speak in tongues and shout around. You just got to go up to the person and say, hey, man, I apologize that I hurt your feelings or whatever. I'm just saying, we cannot spiritualize everything. Okay. And again, there are some people who are addicted to church. If I see you at Walmart, hey, praise the Lord, good God from glory. And yeah, praise the Lord. And he's a good God from glory. But can we just say hello? I saw a clip from, what's that comedian's name? Real funny guy, blowing up here lately. Kev on Stage. Yeah, Kev on Stage. And it was pretty funny because he was translating things from churchy to, English, and he was saying how churchy people, how they use certain phrases and things like that. And it was really funny, man. It really was. It was funny indeed. But again, my point is, some stuff we just can't spiritualize, and trying to do so, we diminish the power that the church really has. And we don't literally take away the power from the church, but we take away the power that it has in the life of someone who doesn't know the power of the church, if that makes sense. Because we have just become a bad example of how the church works. Jesus sat with the sinners and the nobodies, because those were the ones that he came for. But somehow the church has managed to twist that thing around. And when you go to the church, you better not be a sinner and come up and sit on that front row. No, that's for bishop, that's for elder, that's for deacon, that's for so-and-so. And so we have turned the house of God into a big old clique, boys club, girls club. We've turned it into a religious edifice when it should be a delivering center. I can't get no help up in here. Some people overstep their power, and now they are powerless. That's a lot right there. That says a lot right there. But again, prayer works. The Bible tells us men ought to always pray and not faint. It tells us pray without ceasing. It tells us a lot of things. But it also tells us not to let our good be evil spoken of. It also tells us, as I paraphrase the writing of the Apostle Paul, if it offends your brother, don't do it. Yeah. Don't do it in his presence. And there are some people who don't want to hear all that church stuff. And that's when you are supposed to become that last book of the Bible and display your testimony and not say your testimony. Is there anybody that understands what I'm saying this morning? Some testimonies are best displayed and not heard. I'm just saying. So sometimes people will make you think and believe that you are doing it all wrong. And it's not so much that you're doing it wrong. The problem is you're not doing it the way they did it or the way they're doing it. But just because I'm not doing it the way you do it doesn't mean that what I'm doing is wrong. I'm doing it the way I'm doing it because that's the way God led me to do it. You know, we are all different. And as a result, we will have different results. Yeah. I'm just saying it is what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, it's your boy Retro with you on this morning. And am I even doing this thing right? I want to say to you, if you are following the leading of the Lord, the Bible tells us, lean not to thine own understanding, but in all of thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And if you can find yourself in that scripture, then it's not about right or wrong. It's about obedience. It's about surrendering. And I am asking God to give me wisdom. I'm asking God to help me to remain obedient to what he calls me to do. And if that be the case, I don't have to worry about what you think is right or wrong. I don't have to worry about what I know to be right or wrong. The best advice I've ever received in my whole entire 48 years came from a gentleman by the name of Reverend James Sowell Jr. And at this particular time, I didn't think he had anything he could offer me. And the reason why I thought he didn't have anything to offer me was because he was of a different Reformation, if you will. He was an old Baptist preacher, and I was a young apostolic child of God. How stupid can you really be? On my part, you know, and when I tell you God had to work on me, and he did a quick work too, and I'm so grateful that it didn't take long, but God did a quick work on me, because trust me, I was in position to ruin a whole lot of stuff as a young Christian, you know, and zeal, but not according to knowledge. And that's why leaders, we have to be very careful, very, very careful. Well, anyway, Reverend James Sowell Jr., as I said, he was an older Baptist preacher, and at the time he had a seminary school up toward Wilbraham, and at the time I was a radio DJ, the Gospel Ambassador, 89.9 WSCB. Yes, indeed. And Reverend James Sowell, he and his lovely wife were faithful listeners, and many a days we would get to the studio, open the door, unlocking the door while the phone was yet ringing, answer the phone, and who was it? Lo and behold, it was Reverend James Sowell Jr. They were, most of the time, they were the first callers of the morning. Request a song, just conversating with us briefly, and really good people. And so during all of this, I guess he saw something in me as a young man, and he invited me to become a part of his seminary school that he had there in Wilbraham, Springfield line. And but it was a Baptist seminary, and I'm an apostolic, and no, we don't do that, Oh, I'm so glad that the Bible says, in the days of our ignorance, God winked at us. Oh my goodness, God was winking at me. Anyway, let me get to the point. Reverend James Sowell Jr., he tells me, he says, young man, finally one day we were on the phone talking, and I guess he sensed the ignorance in my response, and my stance, and my perspective. And he says to me like an OG, he says, young man, forget what you think you know and learn what you don't. When I tell you the best advice I've ever received in my life, yeah, I mean that. And it revolutionized my life. Yes, it did indeed, man. Bless me indeed. And so many a times that's what we've got to do. We got to forget what we think we know so that we can learn what we don't. Don't be so stuck on what you know that it causes you not to learn what you do not know. I've often said, it is not what you know that makes you look like an idiot. It's what you do not know that makes you look like an idiot. That's why you got to be careful who you don't like. Sometimes the people that you don't like are the key to your elevation. Not so much that they hold the keys to the door, but they do. But not so much in the sense that they are a doorkeeper for you to elevate. But there may be a lesson that you need to learn from that encounter or from that relationship that will cause you, check this out now, to maintain and sustain on that next level that you're on your way to. Now, please imagine had I never had this conversation with Reverend Soel Jr., there's no way I would be able to maintain what God has placed in my hands, because my perception would have been too jacked up. I did a study one time, and I've shared this with a few people. A wise man knows when to stop talking and start listening, because a still tongue keeps a wise head. Okay, I like that. I like that. That there is a really good quote. I like that. I'm going to star that and etch it in my memory bank. Stepping stones of teaching. Yes, sir, Meso. Yes, sir, indeed. I did a study one time, and I've been thinking about it here lately. So I'm probably going to revisit it and deal with it a little bit more. But we were talking about cycloptic demons. Okay, not trying to get all deep, but when you think about, and this was the Lord had begun to show me this some years ago, and through a dream, right? And so I began to kind of look into it a little bit, and here's some of the stuff that I got. Now, a cyclops, right? They were, back in the day, you would see a few, cyclops. They were born with one eye, and so I began to look at the eyesight and things of that nature. And what I found out, the importance of two eyes, it gives you the ability to, how do I want to say this? Having two eyes gives you the ability to have depth perception. Okay. With one eye, you have no depth perception. Okay. Something would appear to be closer than it actually is, or further away than you think it is. And so having two eyes gives us the ability to know where it is. So that way, when you reach out to it, for a lack of better explanation. Okay. And what you do a lot of times is you can put a pencil in front of someone, right? And then you cover one eye, and it changes the depth perception, And so often the enemy will try to get us to a point in life where we are not so much a one track mind, but we're only using one eye, if you will. It's I guess it ain't that deep, but it's better to listen most times before we speak and pass no judgment. Yeah, because a lot of times, Jessica, when we speak too quickly, especially without gathering the proper information and understanding, we'll find out later on that there were more pieces to the puzzle. And now what we said makes us look foolish. And in some cases, you can't rectify it. You can't, because see, once words are out there, they're out there. You can apologize for what you said, but the damage is not always fixed with an apology. Yeah, some of us, and I say some of us because it's all inclusive. Some of us have lost opportunity with some really great people because we spoke too soon. We judged the matter a little too soon. Okay, let me change it. It's not so much that we judged the matter too soon, but we judged it without having enough information to properly do so. And guess what? There are some people that might forgive you, but they will never, ever, 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 in my smoky voice, if I could, give you that opportunity to get that close to them again. They're not going to treat you ill. They're not going to be, vindictive, but you will never have an opportunity to their inner circle again. And they have that right. They have that right to make that decision. So we must be very careful how we are so quick to judge a person and even judge a matter. That's why I got a problem with some of you bozos. I said it. Bozos that let somebody else make you feel a way about somebody because they feel that way about them. Well, they stopped doing that in like the third grade. I'm just saying, no, don't be so quick to judge. I had a situation to occur with me, and it was fairly recently. And I'm talking about grown men got me by about almost 10 years and still acting like they 10 years old, and just came for my character, just attacked me, all because somebody he know don't like me. First of all, if you out of your teens, what you care about who like who and why? Like, come on, really? But that was the case, sure enough. And but you know what? It is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be, man. You know. But and then they turned around and they apologized, you know, about maybe a day or so later, and I respect that. You know, you had the kahuntas to, you know, at least own your wrong and make your apology, whether sincere or not. Please understand, some apologies are political and not sincere. I'll say it one more time because somebody might be in the back of the bus. Some apologies are political and not sincere. Yeah, yes. You better know the difference. You better know the difference. But anyway, let's see here. You have to keep your own mind, but the right mind when it comes to people. I can't not like someone because of someone else. That person can be a blessing in disguise. That part right there. Again, results may vary. You know, you might not like Jessica, but the reason you don't like Jessica is because Jessica is a no nonsense person. And so she speaks the truth in love, you know, and you don't like the truth because you want to continue in your old ways. So therefore, you got a problem with Jessica. But I don't have a problem with someone who speaks their mind. As a matter of fact, I got a problem with people who won't speak their mind. I mean, real talk. You know, if you mean to tell me you've been rocking with me for 5, 6, 7 years, and I find out that you got a problem with me during the 7th year, but you've had this problem with me since day one, that's a dangerous person. Yeah, that's the kind of person that'll slit your throat in the night. I'm just telling you how I feel. So I like it when people are straightforward with me, you know. And so now you don't like Jessica because she's straightforward, but I need people like Jessica in my corner. Yeah, so me and Jessica from day one, we cool. You know, we ain't got a problem. I know exactly where she stands. She know exactly where I stand. And, you know, when she called me out, it's a couple things I can do. I can run. But Bob Marley said, you're running and you're running and you're running away, but you can't run away from yourself. Hey, watch out there now. Bada boom, bada bang. Or I can face the music and make the necessary adjustments that need to be made and fix my flaw. Yeah, that spoke volumes right there. Fix my flaw. But it's ridiculous. It's ludicrous, in the words of Mike Tyson. You know, for you, a grown person, not to like somebody because somebody told you not to like them. Boy, you could be messing up yourself. You know what I mean? So, as I get ready to close, don't judge me by my brother's actions. That part right there. That part right there. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Landati, forget what you think you know and learn what you don't. When you get to a place where you don't like a person, it could be because you need to dig a little deep. Forget what you think you know about them and learn what you don't. You may find out that there's way more positive about them than there is negative about them. Yeah, so that part right there. So anyway, as I get ready to close, am I even doing this thing right? Am I doing this thing right? You know, when it comes to YouTube, social media, and we've got into a world where likes and views are so important. And I understand I understand it. I do indeed. I do indeed. But I think it goes back to one's why. Now, if I'm doing this for likes and views, then I do it a certain way. Okay. And to be transparent and to be honest, we want you to subscribe. I want to see the likes and views go up. But that is not the sole purpose of me doing what I do here on the Retro Philosophy Show. Okay. One of the major reasons that I do it, as I said earlier, is for transparency and authenticity. Okay. And then some of the other reasons why I do it is for truth. You know, especially when it comes to the interviews and things like that, it cannot be just my truth alone. It cannot be my narrative alone. Okay. There will be days and there have been times where people will be on the show who do not share the same view that I share. And that's okay. Because sometimes, let me put it to you this way. If you only surround yourself by people who have the same view that you have, Are you even able to adequately stand on your view? In other words, if your view cannot be challenged, then you really don't have a view. You have a lie. I'm just saying, the moment somebody disagrees with your belief, you get all bent out of shape. No, sir. No, ma'am. I look at here. I stand on what I stand on. And if you see it differently, we can have a conversation. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. Love you all, my brothers and sisters. Remember, God, family, friends, keep pressing forward. There you go, Meso. That's it right there, man. That's it right there. I would like to view. Wait, hold on. Let me read it again. I will like you to view and gain the proper knowledge of the message be told. Yeah. Real talk, folks. So we started the Retro Philosophy Show for those reasons. And again, anytime you do something, you should expect growth, right? But I don't want to get to the point where my focus is more so on growth and numbers than it is the authenticity of the content or the, so what I don't want to do is I don't want to get up here and start doing shows just because, they're going to press play for this one. Nah, because then you lose you, and so we're just going to keep taking this thing one day at a time. You're going to see some things in the years to come, months to come, that are indicative that there has been a shift. In other words, when we first started, okay, I tell you what, go down my timeline, go to YouTube and go down my timeline, find some of my older videos and press play. And then see how things have evolved, whether it be the technology. I was looking at one of the older videos and I had the studio set up upstairs, and it was just, it was cool, but it was, I didn't have all the glitz and glamour. It was just, but one thing about it is that the content has remained the same. And I know there are some that say, if your content has remained the same since the beginning, that you ain't growing. And that all depends on the platform that you have. For some, that might speak volumes about their platform because they're consistent. They have not changed. He's got 3 followers and he speaks this thing. Now he's got 3,000 followers and he still speaks the same thing. Consistency, and so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We I have been thinking about, what can I do? Why is it that, I'm not getting the amount of views and the amount of likes that this one is getting or that one is getting? Well, they have a different channel. That's why, bro. They have a different purpose. That's why, bro. You're not them. That's why, bro. Work just like that little girl in that video that went viral a few years back. Worry about yourself. Paul said it this way: those comparing themselves among themselves is not wise. Okay, so let me just warn you, and when I say you, whoever it applies to, careful how you look at another man and see the results that he or she gets, and then try to hold yourself to that same standard. I used to say all the time, every dog gets his day. Today is their day. Your day might be next week, or it might be next month. So just stay true to who you are and do what it is that you do. And in due season, you shall reap if you faint not. I believe that that's a good place to end it right there. Let's see here. Jessica says, the message has always been clear. It's always been clear. You got to watch out for those wishy-washy people. You get a certain amount of people following you, and then it shifts. Not even so much in terms of the amount of people, but the people. Okay, yeah. Just like my Christian brothers, I want to caution you, and we'll talk about this a little bit more on Thursday. You can't be a certain way in front of the Christian brothers and then another way in front of the other brothers. It don't work like that. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. Okay, and that's another reason why we start the Retro Philosophy Show, so that we could have a platform for the Christian riders. And so we're going to continue to build this thing. I promise you that. And it will not be based on a certain group of people. in terms of whether or not we continue to build and continue to remain consistent. It's based on what God says. And so I do believe that I believe it's time. And I believe that we have a window of opportunity. So shout out to all my motorcycle ministry brothers and sisters that are out here doing this thing. It's time for us to stand up and be counted for. Period. In the story. Jesus had a lot of followers, but only 12 disciples. Yeah, and that for a reason. And one of them was wishy-washy. So go figure, right? One day at a time is all I can ask of you. Show me the way. Teach me to take one day at a time. Now that is some wise counsel right there. One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking of you. Anything else will be uncivilized, ladies and gentlemen. So with that said and done, folks, again, we want to thank you for joining the Retro Philosophy Show. Am I even doing this thing right? Yeah. I tell you this, the God that we serve is able to do exceeding abundantly and above all we're able to ask or even think. Get your mind right. Yeah, and everything else will fall in place. Hey, again, we want to thank God for everyone who is supporting us on the Four Corners rides. It's really been great, guys. I mean, just to see the different people coming out and enjoying the rides. Big Frizz did the NC4, and he says, hey, next week we're going to do another one. And so sure enough, he hit me up and says, hey, man, I'm going to do Virginia. And then he did a video as he was finishing up, and I think he said he's gonna do South Carolina next. So you'll see your boy out there soon. I'm working on a few things. I got to get my trailer redone. Started having some issues with it. The wood had gotten compromised by some carpenter ants, and so we're in the process of redoing my little teardrop. You've seen me pull my little teardrop trailer. I'm redoing it, guys. I'm making it a little bit wider and a little bit longer. I slept in it. We were on our way up to Pennsylvania for a men's conference. Shout out to Cross Soldiers in the building. Let's make some noise for them. Speaking of which, they will be here in Mooresville for the Cam Fam Biker Sunday weekend going down in May. All right, that's the end of May. We'll pop that flyer up here in just a little bit. And so they've already called. They've already got their room booked. They're coming in big numbers, man. And so we really appreciate that, man. That's nothing but love, man. So they're coming all the way down from New Jersey and New York and show some love for the Cam Fam. And we hope that you'll take time out of your schedule to be with us as well for that weekend. That Friday, which is the 24th, I believe it is. Let's pop it on the screen real quick here. Let's see here. Bada boom, bada bang. So 24th through the 26th, on May 24th, we will have the meet and greet that will all go down at the Alignment Center, 442 Westmore Ave in Mooresville, North Carolina. We do have some food trucks set up that will be there. We're going to have the road blocked off, man. So we're looking forward to having ourselves a good old time in the Lord. So again, the meet and greet will be that Friday, the May 24th, getting started at 6 p.m. until. So just stop by and love on the Cam Fam, get to know us, and we'll just, as I said, sit down and chop it up. So then we'll come back Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Kickstands up at 10 a.m. We will be heading down to Gastonia for the cricket ride. And so that'll be a great ride. We do that every year, the cricket ride. And so we decided this year we would include it with our weekend. And that way, those who want to come and do the ride can follow us down there, and we can support the Dinosaur Riders as they do the annual cricket ride, which is a benefit ride for a gentleman by the name of Cricket. He was affectionately called Cricket. And so he passed away, I want to say about maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Single car accident. He was about, I think 16. I think he was about 17 years old. Son of TJ, one of the Dinosaur Riders. And so every year they do the benefit ride, and the proceeds go toward the cricket scholarship. They give 3 scholarships out to students in the Gastonia area. So it's a great purpose, and it's also a great event. Okay. So that's what we'll be doing on Saturday for our Unity ride. And then we'll come back Sunday at 11 a.m. for a worship experience right there at Upper Praise Ministries. So come on down and be with us, ladies and gentlemen, for the Cam Fam second annual Biker Sunday weekend. Okay, last year we just did the Sunday, but this year we're doing the weekend. And again, Cross Soldiers, they say, yo, we in there like swimwear. They didn't say it like that, but they said they come in for sure. So we're looking forward to hanging out with those guys. Every time I go up north, man, that's one of my stops, man. Also, shout out to United in Him Motorcycle Ministry out of California. Those are my peeps right there, man. Them guys right there is my peeps for real, for real. Also, got to give some love to Honorbound Motorcycle Ministry out of Pennsylvania, as well as New Jersey. Big shout out to Sower and his beautiful wife, Cece. So again, these brothers show us mad love, man. And every time we go up top, man, we make sure we swing through and show them love, man, because that's what it's all about. Okay. I want to say this as well. Big ups to Moose and Hustle, the Kingdom Knights up there in the Maryland area, as well as the Ohio area. Big Moose will be with us on Thursday night. We're going to be talking about a few things. So make sure you guys tune in Thursday night for that conversation. And in the meantime, and in between time, man, you guys get out there and do the four corners of your state, okay? Get at me if you need the registration information, and we'll we'll get it to you. All right. It's your boy Retro, man, and I'm out of here, man. God bless you. Heaven smile on you.
And you get a call from your home.
Where you at? Bada boom, bada bang.
When you're riding, and you get a call from your homie saying, yo, what you up to? Where you at? Where's your location? I'm on the bike. And they say, yo, stay put, I'm coming to meet you. I'm on my bike. That's what I'm talking about, man. We out here getting miles and smiles. What's going on with you, man?
Well, it's my turn, Pop. Get but it's for God I live.
I tried to go live, but we can't get no signal where we're at, man. But we had to pull over. Had to pull over, man, because it was literally just that nice. There was another spot further up, and by the time I thought about stopping, it was too late, man. But just absolutely beautiful, man. Beautiful day. It finally started to warm up, and so we're just literally here on the side of the road. A lot of curves coming through here. So for those of you guys who are planning on doing the Georgia 4, be prepared for some curves, because there's a lot of them. But it is just absolutely beautiful. The traffic is, it's not bad. It's a good ride. It's a good ride. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Retro, man. We've come to the end of the road here in Florida anyway. Key West, to be specific. That's the infamous buoy there. And 90 miles to Cuba. I wonder if I'll ever make it to Cuba. Maybe, maybe not. But Ruby Red has made it to the buoy. And we got to make some tracks. Got a lot of people to see while we're here in Florida. Miami, Tampa. You already know what it is, man. Collecting miles and smiles.
Well, it's my turn, Pops. Get piggy, 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 piggy.